Once upon a time, in a bustling city in China, there lived a poor tailor named Mustafa, who had a son called Aladdin. Though Aladdin's father worked hard at his trade, the young boy spent his days playing in the streets, idling away his time with other boys. His father often scolded him for being lazy, but no amount of scolding could get Aladdin to change his ways. This broke the heart of his father, who soon became ill with worry and passed away, leaving Aladdin and his mother to fend for themselves. Aladdin's mother did her best to make ends meet by spinning cotton, but their lives were very difficult. One day, while Aladdin was wandering the streets, a stranger dressed in rich, exotic clothes approached him. The man asked Aladdin his name and whether he was the son of Mustafa, the tailor. Aladdin confirmed that he was, and the stranger, with tears in his eyes, claimed to be Aladdin's long-lost uncle, who had been away traveling for many years. Aladdin, never having heard of such an uncle, was surprised but intrigued. The man spoke kindly and promised that he would help Aladdin and his mother out of their poverty. Overjoyed at the thought of finally having a wealthy family member, Aladdin invited the stranger to his home. That evening, the supposed uncle dined with Aladdin and his mother. He brought fine food and wine, and his words were full of warmth and affection. The next day, the stranger took Aladdin shopping and bought him fine clothes, treating him like a true nephew. Aladdin's mother was grateful, but in her heart she wondered where the man had been all these years. The man, however, was not truly Aladdin's uncle. He was an African sorcerer who had traveled to China seeking something very specific, a magical lamp hidden deep in the earth. But only a young boy, pure of heart, could retrieve it. The sorcerer had selected Aladdin for this purpose. The next day, the sorcerer took Aladdin on a long journey to the outskirts of the city. They traveled far into the mountains until they came to a desolate valley between two cliffs. The sorcerer, who had been pleasant and kind until now, grew serious. "Aladdin," he said, "today I will show you something wondrous, but you must do exactly as I tell you." The sorcerer took a pouch from his belt, scattered a strange powder on the ground, and muttered mysterious words. Suddenly the earth shook, and the ground before them split open, revealing a stone slab with a brass ring set in it. Aladdin was frightened and wanted to run, but the sorcerer's face grew dark. "Do not be afraid," he commanded. "There's a treasure beneath this stone, and it is meant for you. Only you can retrieve it. All you must do is follow my instructions." Aladdin, trembling, obeyed. He lifted the heavy stone by the brass ring, revealing a deep stairway leading underground. The sorcerer instructed Aladdin to descend the stairs, where he would find a garden full of fruit and treasure. At the end of the garden, Aladdin would see an old dusty lamp. "Bring me the lamp," the sorcerer said. "It is of no value to you, but it is priceless to me." Aladdin followed the steps down into the cave. There, just as the sorcerer had said, was a beautiful garden, but instead of ordinary fruit, the trees were laden with glittering gems, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and diamonds. Aladdin marveled at the sight and filled his pockets with as many jewels as he could carry. Then, remembering the sorcerer's instructions, he found the lamp, a plain and worn object, nothing like the riches around him. He tucked it into his vest. When Aladdin returned to the entrance, the sorcerer impatiently demanded the lamp. "Hand it to me," he cried, his voice now harsh and menacing. But Aladdin, seeing the sorcerer's sudden change in demeanor, refused, saying, "First help me out of the cave, and then I will give you the lamp." Enraged by Aladdin's defiance, the sorcerer muttered another spell, causing the stone to roll back into place, trapping Aladdin inside the cave. The boy was left alone in darkness, with no way to escape. Days passed, and Aladdin sat in despair, hungry and exhausted. He absent-mindedly rubbed the dusty lamp. Suddenly, with a flash of light and a cloud of smoke, a great genie appeared. "I am the slave of the lamp," the genie said. "What is your wish, my master?" Aladdin was astonished, but quickly regained his wits. "Take me home," he cried. In an instant he found himself back in his mother's humble home, the cave and the sorcerer far behind him. Aladdin told his mother all that had happened, and together they marveled at the lamp's power. His mother, thinking it was an ordinary object, began to clean it. As she rubbed it, the genie appeared once again. "What is your command?" he asked. Aladdin, realizing the lamp could grant anything he desired, used its power wisely. He asked the genie for food, riches, and eventually a magnificent palace. With the genie's help, Aladdin grew wealthy beyond measure. His fame spread throughout the city, and he caught the eye of the Sultan's daughter, Princess Badroulbadour. Aladdin, now dressed as a prince, courted the beautiful princess. The Sultan, impressed by Aladdin's wealth and generosity, allowed him to marry his daughter, and the two lived happily in Aladdin's grand palace. But the evil sorcerer had not forgotten Aladdin. Learning that Aladdin had escaped the cave and possessed the magical lamp, the sorcerer vowed to reclaim it. Disguised as a merchant, he tricked the princess into giving him the lamp, claiming that he would exchange new lamps for old. The moment he held the lamp in his hands, he summoned the genie and ordered the palace, along with the princess, to be transported to a faraway desert. When Aladdin returned and found the palace and his beloved wife missing, he was devastated. But remembering the magic ring that the sorcerer had also given him, he rubbed it, summoning a lesser genie. Though this genie could not undo the spell, he transported Aladdin to the desert where the sorcerer had taken the palace. Aladdin confronted the sorcerer, and after a fierce battle, he outwitted and defeated him, reclaiming the lamp. With the genie's help, he returned the palace and the princess to their rightful place in the city. From then on, Aladdin and Princess Badroulbadour lived happily ever after. Aladdin, now wiser and more mature, ruled the land with kindness and wisdom, never forgetting the lessons he had learned on his journey. The magical lamp remained by his side, but Aladdin used its power only for good, ensuring peace and prosperity for his kingdom.